almost childish way. That's not to say that everybody who's down in there is childish. I'm saying my version of it was sort of childish when I look back. I think there's still a lot of love in people's hearts for this country. I just don't think they know what to do about it. And if you subscribe, and this is not really in the world of conspiracy anymore, if you subscribe to a more global vision of commerce, politics, sociology, and stuff like that, then you have to ask the deeper question, does the American identity, which has always been built on sort of a, we know something that other people don't know, or we have a different divine right. I mean, presidents would literally say, you know, we're the shining light on the hill and all that stuff. If you don't believe that anymore, then does America lose something not too dissimilar from a hitter who stops hitting home runs and then loses his confidence, or a pop songwriter who stops making hits and she loses her confidence? Like, it's almost like a magic spell. I would akin America to this point, as flawed as it can be at times, and flawed as its history is in many ways. I think we've had an interesting magic spell. And I would say, from a personal point of view, that the loss of that magic spell will cost us way more than we think. It's not as simple as, do we have an open border, or do we turn into something like the EU with, you know, open borders between Mexico and Canada and Pan Americans. I think there's something about America's sort of, for lack of a better word, kind of Elvis attitude, swagger. Our swagger, I think, is very much at the heart of who we are, more so than we think. And then when you combine it with other things like our puritanical kind of weird bent, there are reasons that people came here first, and or like my ancestors in the 1800s or something, or in the early 1900s, they came here for a particular reason, and whether they believed it or they needed to believe it, that ideology stitched this country together for at least 150 years. So I'm not sure I want to see what's on the other side of that, because I've been all over the world and I don't see the same magic glow. And I'm not a flag waving America could do no wrong. I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. But I've seen all over the world, and I've been to countries that are what people would commonly refer to derisively as third world. And when you've seen real ghettos and real poverty and real insanity and real racism, and I gotta be careful because I know people are listening to everything I say these days. There is real racism here, but you see maybe systemic racism in a way that we don't seem to have as much systemic racism. Because I think people have an argument to say there is systemic racism, but I've seen more pervasive systemic racism. I'm trying to be clear, because now every word I'm saying is parsed. So being around the world and seeing that, I still think the American swagger works. It's like, you know, what Courtney